I have been playing. So I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan.
Mhm.
I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. And JJ, I know you are as well. We like to chat a lot about
Mhm.
the history of TMNT and looking at my shelf with all my TMNT comics and graphic
You
novels and
can
stuff.
you can see my can of
Yeah.
TCRI ooze right here.
There you go. There you go. If don't touch any animals, or else you'll turn into that animal. But I had the chance to get a code for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. Now, I played the demo of this, which when it was on, I think, Next Fest, um,
Yeah.
and I really kind of dug what they were trying to do. And that was essentially like the first section, the first level of the game. And what this game is. It is so. Let me kind of give you a backtrack. It's set in the future. I think Splinter and Shredder are dead, and you are the Turtles. You start off as Michelangelo, and you have to kind of find your brothers. And Karai, which is Shredder's daughter, is in the mix, trying to take something from that Splinter used to own. And yeah, that's essentially the beginning of the story. There's surprisingly some depth in this. So, from a narrative standpoint, it reminded me a lot of that. Oh, that screen's going crazy.
Holy
It reminded
pixel
me a
dent,
lot
man.
of the that CG Ninja Turtles movie, which was like technically the fourth
Yeah.
movie in the
Yeah, they
series.
consider it canon. It's
They
weird.
consider it canon. I think Karai is in that one as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of there's some introspective kind of aspects of this, and there's some loss, like they're dealing with the loss of their mentor and things like
This
that.
looks
But
very much inspired by the comics, by the way, in case
yeah,
there's any.
so it is, and it definitely is. It's also inspired. Again, it's a tactical kind of overhead tactical game. It's inspired by or takes the idea of toys because the animations are very minimal and it's basically like a couple frames type of thing. But it's like you're holding little toys and knocking characters off off the. I'll get this fixed.
Why is it
Off the
just
board.
that one part?
It's just that one part on the screen. But so, so yeah. So the game is basically you start by dropping in, like Taylor just did there. You start by dropping into a room, and you control one turtle per section, per stage, basically. So the game's like 5 to 6 hours long, and you're essentially putting in what amounts to about an hour per turtle or so. And you're going through these stages, and the stages have, yeah, I don't know what's going on here now. What is going on? Okay. Essentially, the stages have these areas where there's sort of small rooms. The enemies will kind of jump in, and you can place yourself wherever you want, and you can take them out one by one, and then a new section, the next section of the board will open up. They kind of are like boards, right? The next section will open up, and the previous section that you were in, part of it will start to disappear. So there is almost like a battle royale-ish type of thing, but really the intent is to keep you moving forward. So they're slowly dropping parts of the room behind you, adding rooms forward of the direction you have to go in. So you're constantly moving. There's definitely a flow. And because of that, it feels a little bit like a brawler as well, because brawlers, it's just a scrolling screen, and this is sort of scrolling from overhead, and it will it will kind of get hairy in certain situations. What I mean by that is the first couple runs that I was into. So, well, let me phrase this way: you get activity points. It's turn based. You get activity points. You can, I think there's like 6 activity points. You can move, you can jump, you can attack, and every attack has different things, right? And every turtle has a different set of attacks. A bunch of enemies will be there. You can try to take them out individually, but there are very good chances that you can see in parts of this video, they will kind of gang up on you, and then you're done for, because if they each take one tick of life away, and maybe you only have like 8 hearts, if they each take 1 heart away, and there's like 5 or 6 of them on the stage at a time, you can kind of get screwed. Your goal, and you get this later on, is to kind of upgrade your equipment, upgrade your attacks, and kind of do things that way. But I found myself the first like couple runs I had of the first the second level, the first real major level out of the sewers, dying a lot. Like I had to restart it a couple times. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? Why am I just getting clobbered by these? You know, I felt it was like a brawler. Why is it not reacting like a brawler? And it's because it actually isn't a brawler. It's very much and different levels do different things, but the majority of the time, you're trying to stay away from the enemies, and you're using the actual environment to take out enemies. Don't attack them on your own. Very rarely, here's my advice, people, very rarely will you actually take on enemies on your, one-on-one. If you do that, there's a good chance you're going to get swarmed, and it'll be over. Parts of the board, you'll have like cars going through on the street. You'll have stuff falling at different intervals. If you can line up your enemies to get to certain places, then the environment will take care of them. So you can actually do less attacking that way. We only have 3 lives too, so if you're not careful, you will get kind of knocked out pretty quickly. So once you start learning to use the aspect of the room kind of falling behind you, the room going in front of you, knowing where the edges are, because you can actually knock enemies off the edges of the board as well, and then understanding where the hazards are, you don't have to do a lot of attacking. Like, once I figured that out, I was able to start blasting through some of these levels, because it was kind of difficult early on, but going forward, after I got through understanding that it's very much managing the environment, like tactical is a good word, but it's not necessarily attack tactical. It's like watching the overall board and knowing how to utilize that board. Now, that being said, it's actually like less of a fighter and more of positional management type of thing. That being said, you can see it in the video here, there's not a ton of variety in these boards, right? The game is pretty short, 5 to 6. I actually like games that are 5 to 6 hours. I think that's a really good amount of time. I didn't want anything like 8 to 20, or 15 to 20 hours. But there's a lot of repetition of assets in these levels. The same car, the same garbage, the dumpster, the same blocks are in the areas, the same solar panels and vents and things like that. And the enemies are very much the same. So there's a lot of repetition that you end up seeing through there, and it doesn't make it like super exciting from that standpoint. Now the game at its base is a really solid tactical game. You can definitely come up. It's less strategy and more, like I said, kind of monitoring your space. But there is a little level of like, yeah, okay, it's pretty basic. It gets the job done. It's not wowing me, but what it does do is it gets me to feel like I'm playing with the toys and knocking characters off. It's almost like when you're a kid knocking characters off the play mats and that kind of stuff. That's more of what this game is set up as, with a little bit of the story aspect. So not overly deep. I did like the play on sort of the Eastman era of Turtle stuff. I like that there's a little bit of actual character deep dives, a little bit, but I didn't love that it's essentially one turtle per stage type of thing, that you really can't work as a team. Yeah, and the turtles really are, I mean, there's a plurality in the name, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they talk about themselves like they're brothers because they are brothers, but you don't get that. You get that in the story, you don't get that in the action. I think that's where sort of the downfall of this is, and kind of sets it back. I don't say downfall because it's still solid. I still really liked it, and I can recommend it to turtle fans out there. And I can also recommend it to people who are just kind of getting into the tactical genre, but it's not going to wow a lot of folks. But it is enjoyable. Again, once you've kind of figure out how things function, you're able to get through these levels a lot quicker, and from that standpoint. So let me know if there's any questions, but that's essentially what,
I mean, I bought it.
Oh, there you go. It worked out perfect.
Yeah, I've been playing it. I'm like, it's the Ninja Turtles game, and it's like $18. It's the Ninja Turtles game, and it's $18. And I don't think there's ever been an IDW inspired game before. So I was this is very IDW Ninja Turtles.
When he said Splinter is dead, I was like, okay.
This is
got it.
Yeah, this is post Eastman.
It is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant Eastman from like sorry. some character development stuff. Some darkness to it from the earlier.
Especially with the heavy focus on Karai that it has. It really is like the post Mirage Ninja Turtles era of it, and it's I don't know, it's fine. I agree with you. It's fine. It's super like breezy. There's
it really is.
Like,
and again, that's because it's constantly pushing you forward. It's
Yeah, it feels like this started off as a board game you would find at a place
exactly
like the
characters are designed like board game figures.
Yeah,
they look like amiibos.
With this, because at PAX I just got the Metal Gear Solid board game, and it has you place a cardboard board down and you're kind of moving around trying to do stuff. It feels like it's just missing if this were a board game, it would be cards instead of just which is kind of what the moves are sort of relegated to in this game.
Yes,
are cards. It really feels like this would have been easily adapted into physical space.
Yeah,
because it is so.
I think
small.
It probably can. It probably still can.
Yeah, it is so small. It is so compact in the levels, because it's 20 levels, I think they said, but each one's just these small little It's kind of it's a step above that Hitman and Lara Croft games. You remember those ones, the Hitman Go or whatever the heck.
There's no puzzles in this. It's really just move forward, clear out waves of enemies, or avoid them, like I started understanding how to do. And then get the pizza to restore your health.
Yeah, I think a big problem is you went in this with far less. This is a strategy game in mind. Than you probably should have. I gotta say, it's definitely one of the weaker Strange Scaffold games.
Okay.
This probably. I mean, Strange Scaffold has put out some insanely good shit in the last few years. And this one's just it's good. It's got a killer soundtrack. I love
soundtrack's great.
RJ Lake is great at this stuff, and but
I think because they're sort of beholden to the Turtles IP, Nickelodeon IP.
Really didn't give him an opportunity to
get too far
explore the space.
I like where I think it has intent, and I think it succeeds to some part. I think there's going to be a younger audience, especially, is really going to like this, because
it's really good. My first strategy game. It's got because it introduces you to concepts that a younger audience probably isn't familiar with. It's in the same level. This is even if you're still not sure how Mario and Rabbids.
I was just going to bring that one up. Yeah.
This is a good, because it doesn't. The thoughts you need to go in aren't as strong.
It's not a deep game. Again, great plot. I wish they capitalized on that in the actual gameplay a bit more, but
if only it were click holding.
But I think good intent, great plot, kind of basic, and it's I don't want to say paper thin, but there's some thinness to it. It's enjoyable if you want to. You can get through runs really quick, and you can play this like a brawler. Is really kind of what the idea is.
We don't tend to go about it at this angle, but also it is a $20 game. It's not. It's designed to be exactly what it is. Yeah. Which is
you kind of know what you're getting when you're playing this. When you're like, okay, I paid $20 or whatever. It's a Ninja Turtles game, and for sure.